Having a sook, the Guardian lost the U.S. election, and their fiery exit from Twitter shows the outlet is having a temper tantrum as a result. They're gonna come back to Twitter really soon. They all say they're gonna leave, and they all come back. Now, a lot of them don't even leave. Mark Hamill, like minutes after he said he was leaving Twitter, he was still posting on Twitter. Kind of weird, isn't it? When the Guardian says it's leaving Twitter because it become toxic, what they really mean is they have a hate any platform where their sacrosanct opinions aren't shepherded through the marketplace of ideas. 100% agree with that. So Twitter is no longer a far left echo chamber. So they're leaving it because they can't function in a free marketplace of ideas. If their ideas aren't being artificially boosted and their opponents aren't being artificially put down, they can't compete. Last week, The Guardian announced it was leaving Twitter. It's just the latest in a long line of who have signaled their exit from the platform, and most of them haven't even left. Most reappear within a short time once they realize their desire for attention is greater than their desire to stick steadfastly to their advertised, but not necessarily held principles. Yeah, like I keep saying, man, these guys are attention whores. So they can't survive on platforms that are much smaller than Twitter. They all eventually start missing the attention and come back. In a whimpering, self-serving missive, ironically shared on Twitter, The Guardian cited far-right conspiracy theorists and racism as its reason for leaving the platform, and that the U.S. presidential erection campaign served only to underline what we have considered for a long time, that Twitter is a toxic platform, and its owner Elon Musk has been able to use its influence to shape political discourse. Yeah, and all he had to do was stop far left censorship. Dang, let the free market work, and all of a sudden things drastically shift. That's odd. But I was being told that everyone wants this woke shit, that it's the future, that it's popular. Was that just a lie? So not to be outdone, Don Lemon, host of the Don Lemon show, announced he was leaving Twitter, saying, I once believed it was a place for honest debate and discussion, transparency, and free speech. But now I feel it does not serve that purpose. Yeah, now that my speech isn't being artificially propped up and my opponents aren't being silenced, it suddenly does not support honest debate and discussion, transparency, and free speech anymore. Funny. Several other high-profile regressives have also recently vacated the premises in search of the safety of an online echo chamber. Oh God! On Blue Sky, like they've already been getting they've been mass flagging and reporting each other, getting each other mass banned. I wonder how long that's gonna last. While these statements all sound lofty and pure, they are in fact highly informative of a coterie and within the media who considers their positions to be totally unassailable. And then once they are assailed, it must have been some crime, right? So everything they want is justice and a human right, and any criticism of their view of the world is an attack on democracy and hate speech. It's binary, myopic, and ironically illiberal. Although time will tell how long the likes of The Guardian can go cold turkey from Twitter. Probably a few days. One wonders how much this decision was pushed by glass-jawed activists to the chagrin of those responsible for keeping the joint solvent. Is there anyone left working there that actually cares about the business side, though? Like, there comes a point where all the competent people eventually just get driven off. Like, they just don't care anymore. In its statement, The Guardian also said, thankfully, we can do this because our business model does not rely on viral content tailored to the whims of social media giants' algorithms. Instead, we're funded directly by our readers. Yeah, that's why they're constantly begging, too. Every time I go to The Guardian for an article for my stream, they're always e-begging. So I love when lefties use words like business model as if they know what they mean, like the way they use the word woman with unabated confidence, but zero connection with reality. Now, I'm not saying that a media platform can only survive with presence on Twitter, but I do wonder how long it takes until someone realizes that donations to The Guardian were likely supported in some way by a presence on Twitter. Now, this one I'm not exactly sure of myself. I'm quite sure at this point the Guardian is primarily supported by people like us who go read their articles for the lulz. All right, that users on Twitter might become Guardian readers, hate readers maybe. That Twitter isn't wholly an assemblage of right-wing cranks the Guardian thinks it is. Yeah, so for the longest time, they had the privilege of having the platform be a far-left echo chamber. So now that right-wing opinions, at least the more moderate ones, are actually allowed again, now they're shrieking that it's Nazis or something. The issue isn't that Twitter is a right-wing platform. It's that the Guardian is having a sook because its team happened to lose an election. Yeah, and as far left as they are, anything moderate looks like right-wing. That Twitter platform views, which the Guardian doesn't agree with, which burst its smug, self-righteous bubble. The Guardian complains about social media platforms influencing political discourse, but I don't remember the Guardian staging a walkout in the name of democracy and free speech when the Twitter of old was censoring anyone to the right of Lenin. No, that's because there's nothing political about just being a decent person. Oh, yeah, hate speech should be banned on the platform. When players like The Guardian espouse this criticism, what they really mean is that any influence of political discourse is only a problem when their apparently sacrosanct opinions unshepherded through the marketplace of ideas. Yeah, that's because they know their ideas are bad, and unless they're given preferential treatment, or dare I say, privilege, they literally can't win without it. So by leaving Twitter, the Guardian will also be foregoing visibility and digital analytics, which are integral in the landscape of digital journalism. It's not about going viral. It's about the demographics of who is reading you, who isn't, and where they're reading you, and how those demographics change over time. Yeah. These guys are going from having some audience to having no audience. Like that's their demographics changing over time. Because who the hell follows the Guardian outside of looking for content to laugh at? It might be secondary issue, but in the online world of being able to measure is fundamental to success, whatever your definition of success is. Well, you could just make shit up. That's what a lot of these companies do when they're trying to get more investor money. Just whole cloth make shit up. In the interest of disclosure, I glanced over the Guardian most days and invariably by clicking a link on Twitter. I consider it imperative to read journalism and opinion from across the political spectrum, to consider ideas which run counter to my own, even if I ultimately consider them to be wrong, unworkable, or insidious. In a purely political subtext, there is untold merits to knowing what your opposition thinks and how it plays its hand. Yeah, thank you. That's pretty much the argument I've been making from the start. You should study your opponent's rule books, like Rules for Radicals. Even if you yourself aren't going to be using anything in there, it's good to understand where your enemy's coming from. All that said, I would self-immolate before donating $1 to the Guardian. They are ground zero for demanding that everything be free. So I will take them up on it. Yeah. Oh, that is a nice own to these fucking communists. Oh, you demand everything else be free and provided to you. Okay, fair enough. Well, whatever you're providing, yeah, we're going to take for free then. You're fine with that, right? That's a glorious irony. So following the Guardian's announcement, several accounts on Twitter have taken us on a nostalgic journey through the best Guardian headlines, the sorts of headlines which will sadly no longer grace our Twitter notifications. Like, is it okay for scientists to weep over climate change? Yeah, the budget should be less macho. How about it, boys? There's no reason to debate guacamole. It's already gentrified beyond good taste. So men are less likely to wear masks. Another sign that toxic masculinity kills. I don't know, man. I think my non-mask wearing ass ended up okay. And my personal favorite, my toddler is a vegan. What's the problem? Obviously, you're the problem. But no. How will we ever manage without the ability to subpost this sort of ideological inanity? So to those at the Guardian smarting about everyday voters caring more about their household budgets than your idealistic pet projects, don't be glum. Nothing in politics is ever as good or bad as it seems. No, 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 no. Stop trying to talk sense into him. Oh no, no, it's literally the end of the world. Orange Man is literally going to round you up and put you in a camp. Yeah, you should despair. And we welcome your return to Twitter, the political to the political affray when you've rolled up your bottom lip. Until then, I might just have to Google The Guardian for my daily dose of far left Puritanism. No, you could still find plenty of that on Twitter, just not from The Guardian, oddly enough.